Alright guys, it's Kid53 here, and welcome to the NXT Takeover WarGames 2018 and the Survivor Series 2018 predictions for this weekend on why did I say July? November the 17th for NXT and November 18th for Survivor Series. So, got all my predictions down. Very difficult to pick because it's just, well, there's been a lot of last minute changes this week. Obviously 2 guys are out of Survivor Series and we have replacements. NXT WarGames, we have 4 matches on the card instead of 5, which is very strange, but it is understandable because I know that 2 matches are going to go on for very, very long. So let's just run down right through the predictions. All my predictions for both NXT and Survivor Series will be put down in the description. Feel free to put your predictions in the comment section down below, as well as all my social media is in the description, to my Instagram and Twitter. So let's just run right down through this. Let's just crack on. Drinking rules will also be in the description. As always, I will quickly mention before we get started, I know I did not do a predictions video for WWE Crown Jewel. It was just mainly because I would just be ranting for a little bit about the whole controversy that went on. John Cena wasn't working Crown Jewel, Daniel Bryan wasn't even working Crown Jewel either, and I just want to forget about that show. I know it's been about 2 weeks now since we had that show, and it's just something that I do not want to forget. I mean, it is a show that I do want to forget. What did I say? It's a show I really want to forget about. It won't be brought up ever again, just because Shane McMahon is the greatest, best in the world. Shane McMahon is the best wrestler in the world according to what we saw. Anyway, let's just run down the predictions, because I just cannot speak. It's midnight here. It is Saturday, the day of NXT Takeover WarGames. So let's just run right down to this. So here we go. NXT WarGames. The first match I'm going to do is a singles match between Johnny Gargano and Aleister Black. I have gone with Gargano for this one. I've got Aleister Black written down, but I've just forgot to change it last minute before I recorded this. Yeah, I've gone with Gargano because I know he's gone with some sort of a heel run now, and I just think Gargano might do something later on in the night. Aleister Black obviously was attacked, came back. Nikki Cross was teasing, oh, she knows who it was, and out of nowhere it had to be Johnny Gargano. I think Gargano would need a win just because, well, he's just coming out of he did come out of the whole Gargano versus Ciampa thing, which was incredible, by the way. But I feel like Gargano deserves a win because he hasn't really won since I forget what takeover. I think it was New Orleans. I could be wrong. Where if he didn't win the match, he would just stay fired out of NXT. But obviously that wouldn't be true because they'll just get called up to the main roster anyway. So I do have a few hints for this show as well, which I'll talk about after the predictions. Yeah, I've just gone with Johnny Gargano. I just feel like he deserves it a bit more. I think Aleister Black, he's pretty much done everything that it is. He was undefeated until he was defeated by Ciampa for the NXT title. And I just feel like Aleister Black will get called up very, very soon. I think with Gargano winning, Black has pretty much finished everything that he's done with NXT. He'll go away, and then who knows? We might see Aleister Black at the 2019 Royal Rumble. Who knows? And then we'll be like, whoa! So yeah, I've gone with Johnny Gargano for this one, with no interruptions. The next match I'm going to go for is the 2 out of 3 Falls match. It is Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane. Obviously Shayna won the title back at WWE Evolution from some shenanigans from her fellow horsewoman, Jessamine Duke, and I forget the other name. I'm sorry, I forget the other name. But they got involved and they cost Kairi the match. Anyway, I've gone with Shayna for this one. I think Shayna's just won it back not long ago. They're going to keep the title on her. I think Kairi is almost ready to be pulled up to the main roster, just because she's pretty much done, well, pretty much everything. Mae Young Classic winner from last year. We've got former NXT Women's Champion, of course. And, well, I think it's Kairi's time to be pulled up to the main roster for 2019. She might stay down in NXT for a little bit longer and then get called up eventually. But I think Shayna will somewhat retain with the help of a fellow horsewoman, minus Ronda Rousey. But yeah, I just feel like it's just too soon to put the belt back on Kairi, so I've gone with Shayna. And next I have gone for the NXT Championship match. Tommaso Ciampa versus the DREAM is Velveteen Dream. I've gone with Tommaso Ciampa. Just feel like they're going to keep the belt on Ciampa for a little while, and then we might see Gargano and Ciampa again. Or something else could happen, because this is what ties in with the Gargano and Black match. I think Johnny Gargano wins, and then probably during the NXT title match, probably after the match, Gargano comes out, because he just come out of a win. And I've been seeing some things online where we could see the reunion of DIY, which I think that's not going to happen, or it's just one of those things where Gargano wants another match with Ciampa, and then Gargano can have that big moment, becoming the champion and stuff. Yeah, I don't know, but I just feel Tommaso Ciampa will retain. I don't really see them putting the belt on Dream anytime soon. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I do love Velveteen Dream stuff in the ring, but I just feel like putting the belt on him now would just be, I mean, there's lots of things going around at the moment, because I feel like Velveteen Dream's somewhat in a feud with Lars Sullivan as well, who also could get involved. William Regal. We did see that segment. I think it was like Velveteen Dream, Lars Sullivan, Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano. It's just floating all over the place, and I'm just getting a bit confused with NXT now. Just everyone's just getting involved. So yeah, I've gone with Ciampa to retain. So yeah. And finally we have the Undisputed Era, the WarGames match. Undisputed Era, which is Cole, Fish, O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, taking on the team of Pete Dunne, Ricochet and the War Raiders. War. I have gone for the Undisputed Era in the second year in a row. Well, minus Roderick Strong. Yeah, I think Undisputed Era is somewhat gonna win. I just don't know. This was really difficult for me to pick, because I do know that Kyle O'Reilly defeated Hanson this week on NXT, just to give them more the advantage in their WarGames match. I feel like the team of Dunne, Ricochet and the War Raiders, it's still kind of like, there's still some arguing going on, but I feel like they're gonna work together this Sunday. There might be some sort of shenanigans, some whatever between the team, but I do feel like somewhat Undisputed Era is just going to win. I mean, it's what they do, I really enjoyed Undisputed Era with the tag matches and everything else going on, and because they won the WarGames match last year, I just feel like, well, they're just going to be one of those teams that will just be very, very annoying, and they could just, well, they can just gloat about it, I guess, saying, oh, we won WarGames twice in a row, and all this stuff. So, yeah, I've gone with Undisputed Era. So, yeah. So that is it for WarGames. Again, all the predictions are in the description. And now we are going to go over to Survivor Series with 8 matches on the card. One of the matches we still have a member who is to be decided, which I do have some ideas on who it might be, but we'll get to that in a second. So let's just run down Survivor Series now. As you can tell, the image change. So we are going to be starting off Survivor Series with the Cruiserweight Championship match between Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali. I have gone with Murphy. Yeah, I just feel like, well, Buddy Murphy, yeah, that huge pop at Super Showdown. They're going to keep the belt on Murphy for a bit longer than usual, and because with Mustafa Ali, he's still in some sort of, he is in somewhat of a rivalry with Tony Nese at the moment, so I feel like that's going to continue. Who knows, Tony Nese might even be involved. But I'm just gone for Murphy. There's no real reason behind it. I haven't really been watching to Revive Live recently. But I just think Buddy Murphy's going to retain this Sunday. Mustafa Ali almost had that big moment at WrestleMania. He's not going to win again, and I think Mustafa Ali's time will probably come WrestleMania 35 or something like that. So he has that moment. But yeah, I just feel like Murphy's going to hold the belt for a bit longer. So yeah. And next up we have the 5-on-5 Survivor Series, the most historic tag team, historic elimination, historic tag team match, Survivor Series. Team Raw, we have the team of Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, the Revival, the B Team, Lucha House Party, so it could either be Kalisto, Lindsay Dorado or Gran Metalik, and the Ascension, taking on SmackDown's Usos, New Day, SAnitY, Gallows and Anderson, and the Colons. I have gone for Team SmackDown. I feel like Team Raw, it's just, well, I think Raw's tag team division is a bit stale. You know, we got AOP tag champions. There's no one really good on the Raw side of things. Whereas we got SmackDown with amazing teams. You know, we got the Usos, we got the New Day, we have the Bar, and it's just, well. And I did quite like that segment on SmackDown this week with the Usos and all the teams going together in that little video. That was pretty cool. So I mean, I'm just going for SmackDown because, well, it's just because it's the Usos, who I like, the New Day, who I like, SAnitY, which I also like, Gallows and Anderson, it's in between, and the Colons, well, they're just meh. They can just, I mean, they can do something for like a minute or so until they get eliminated, but I've gone with Team SmackDown, so that it's just because it's SmackDown got the better teams. Right, next I have going to go for the Women's Survivor Series elimination match. From Raw we have Mickie James, Nia Jax, Tamina, Natalya and Ruby Riott. I could have wished Bayley or Sasha could have been involved in this, but obviously Raw's side just basically got involved in that match between Bayley and Sasha, and then Bliss was like, oh look, it's Ruby Riott. So Alexa Bliss is the captain, and of course Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan will be at ringside. And then we have Team SmackDown with Carmella, Naomi, Sonya Deville and Asuka. Now, there's 4 women on SmackDown, and I do have some ideas. Now, of course, Charlotte was supposed to be in this, but obviously Charlotte's in another match now, so that rules her out. I do somewhat feel like Mandy Rose could be in this match, obviously because she did come out on SmackDown and say, "Oh, how did Sonya get to be a part of this Survivor Series match and not me? You do know that I eliminated her at Evolution, etc, etc." I don't think it's going to be Mandy Rose. I don't think it will be Brie Bella or Nikki Bella. No, there's no way. No chance. No chance in hell. I feel like it's going to be someone from NXT. I do feel like it's going to be Nikki Cross, just simply because she had that match against Becky in her, I think it was in her hometown in Scotland, and she lost. But I do feel like it's Nikki Cross's time to be pulled up to the main roster so she can join SAnitY once again. So it can be anyone. It can be anyone. But I feel like my best bet, it's either going to be Nikki Cross or someone else from NXT. I just don't know who. But it could be anyone. I wouldn't think it'd be Mandy Rose. People have been saying it'll be Paige, but I don't think that's going to happen because, you know, if she takes a nasty bump again, then, well, we won't really see Paige on TV ever again. So, I'm going with SmackDown. I do also feel like Asuka can... Well, Asuka was the sole survivor last year, so she might be in like the final 2, but I don't think Asuka's going to stay in there for too long. And of course, Asuka was beaten by Charlotte again on Mixed Match Challenge, so that also tells something. But I do feel like Asuka can stay in there. So I can kind of see Sonya Deville being in there for a little while longer, and the mystery partner, whoever that will be. Yeah, I've just gone with SmackDown. Just because it's just because of the mystery partner. So go SmackDown. And next we are going to go for AOP versus The Bar. Obviously Raw Tag Champs versus SmackDown Tag Champs. I have gone for The Bar. I just feel like because they've got the Big Show in their corner, and I do feel like Big Show can do something with Drake Maverick and cause a little bit of a distraction. I do know AOP just won the titles. I do know that. And of course AOP hasn't really been doing anything on the main roster, so it wouldn't really surprise me if AOP were to win because they just won the titles and they just need something to like elevate themselves, I guess. But I just feel like The Bar can somewhat come out on top because they haven't really done much on SmackDown either, since the whole shake-up. And then here we are. The Bar are back. Of course, they got a big guy who we don't know whether he's a face or a heel at times because it's the Big Show. But again, I do feel like Big Show can do something with Drake Maverick and ringside, like manhandle him or something, and AOP get distracted in order for The Bar to win. But then again, AOP could win. Anyone has really surprised me. But I've gone with The Bar regardless because I just feel like The Bar are a really good team. AOP, I'm just pretty much bored with AOP, and I know they've been beating some local talent since their main roster and nothing else. And well, I just feel like give it to The Bar more. So again, go SmackDown. I feel like SmackDown's going to win this overall, but if Raw wins, I mean, because SmackDown won 2016, and I feel like it's going to go back and forth. So Raw won last year, and I feel like SmackDown's going to win again. You can kind of see where I'm going with these predictions. So I've gone with The Bar to defeat AOP. And Next we are going to go for Seth Rollins, the IC champion, taking on Shinsuke, the US champion. Now this was a tough one because this is one of the matches I've always been wanting to see, and we're finally going to get it this Sunday. However, I think it's going to be a bit controversial because obviously the whole Ambrose and Rollins situation. I do somewhat feel like either it's going to be during the match or after the match, where if it's going to be during the match, I think Ambrose is going to get involved. Excuse me a sec. Needed some coffee. I think Ambrose could probably get involved during the match. Shinsuke could just do what he does best, low blow Rollins. At least he's not doing this to AJ, because, well, that's one of AJ's targets this year. He's been through a beating. Anyway, enough of AJ. It's Rollins and Nakamura. Ambrose getting involved. Shinsuke's going to do something naughty with like a low blow or something, and the ref isn't going to see it. I feel like either way, Ambrose could Ambrose can get Shinsuke the win, or it's going to end by disqualification, but I do not know. Or it's going to be either after the match Rollins wins, and then Ambrose comes down and beats him. So I've gone with Shinsuke regardless, but I do not know for certain who I want to win the most. I've gone with Shinsuke because I know how he's been acting lately, and these just stupid wins. Yeah, and of course the whole Rollins and Ambrose situation, which obviously I do feel like Ambrose, because he's not booked, but he will show up this Sunday and get involved. So I've gone with Shinsuke. I mean, well, it's what Shinsuke's been doing this year, and he knows speak English. That's still one of my favourite segments. Yeah, I've gone with Shinsuke. Moving on. Next, we are going to go for the champion versus non-champion match. No titles on the line, of course. It is Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch's replacement, because obviously Becky suffered a broken nose and everything. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. I have gone for Ronda. I don't think Charlotte's going to get the job done. Obviously Becky picked Charlotte as, well, former best friend, and everyone's like, get the job done for me please, otherwise you're going to suffer the consequences. And I do feel like the whole Ronda and Becky match could be leading to WrestleMania anyway. So if Charlotte doesn't get it done, she's Becky's probably going to come down and try to brutalize, if that's the word. She's going to brutalize Ronda. Ronda wants a match with Becky, and it's like, you know what, we'll do it at WrestleMania. I don't know. Yeah, I've gone with Ronda because, well, she's Ronda Rousey. She breaks people's arms. She does that thing where she slaps her chest because she's an Uso secretly. Yeah, it's just because it's Ronda Rousey. I don't feel like Charlotte's gonna. There will be some spots where you think Charlotte's gonna win, and of course Charlotte's still coming off of a loss against Becky at Evolution anyway. In that last Women's Standing match, which was good. I just feel like Ronda's just gonna win it because, well, she's Ronda. Charlotte, I don't really see it happening, but I do feel like Becky's somewhat gonna get involved after the match. If Charlotte doesn't get it done and Ronda wins, Becky's just gonna come down and just, you know, brawl with her, and we might have to break things up because it's gonna be very bad. So I've gone for Ronda. Then next we are going to go for... Ooh, 2 matches left and I don't know which one's going to be the main event. I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan. It was supposed to be AJ, but obviously AJ lost the title to Daniel Bryan on Tuesday. Why, oh why are we getting this? But I do feel like this match was bound to happen. I always wanted to see Lesnar versus Bryan, but I didn't think it was going to be this soon. Yeah, I've always wanted to see this match, but I think at this current moment in time, I just don't really want to see it, because I do feel like Lesnar's going to beat Bryan and, well, hurt him and probably cost Daniel Bryan he's going to cost Bryan his career again. So Bryan's going to be out, but I don't know how this is going to go down, because I don't really want to see Bryan being put back on the shelf and everything. And I also do feel like AJ's going to get involved as well, because he just come off a loss. Lost his title to Daniel on Tuesday. I just don't know. I've always been excited for AJ versus Brock too, because they did that match last year. But I think now it's just so weird. If you think about last year, it was supposed to be Lesnar versus Jinder. Then they put the title on AJ. I mean, of course, put it on AJ one. That would be a good match, and it was. And then they just basically repeated it again. But with Bryan now, you know, he just made his return to in-ring competition. Yeah, I've gone for Lesnar, because, well, he's Brock Lesnar, and he wants to defend the title whenever he wants. Why oh why did this have to happen? I don't know. But I've gone for Brock Lesnar, because it's Brock Lesnar. But again, AJ will probably get involved and do something to Daniel Bryan. Yeah. And finally, which I do believe will be the main event, because it was somewhat the main event last year, we got the traditional Survivor Series elimination match. On Team Raw, we have the following: Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley, with Baron Corbin in the corner and Lio Rush. Now, I will quickly say Braun's probably just going to beat the hell out of Ziggler and McIntyre regardless, because they were formerly a team. And probably Baron Corbin could get involved and do something to Braun Strowman, because if Braun Strowman was to win for Raw, Stephanie did agree and say if Braun was to win at Survivor Series, he'll give a match with Baron Corbin, probably at TLC. He'll get his rematch with Lesnar. I do wish it's not a squash match again. I don't know. So we've got Team Raw: Ziggler, McIntyre, Strowman, Balor and Lashley, with Baron Corbin and Lio Rush at ringside, taking on SmackDown's The Miz, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, and the best professional wrestler in the world today, Shane McMahon, which I believe is a whole lot of BS. Did you see? I just want to quickly say something. Did you see the reaction on Shane McMahon's face when he won that match, the WWE World Cup? I know he's a sweaty mess. Yes, I get that. But it felt... I was kind of laughing as well when I watched it back. It was more like he was crying, as like he just won his first match in a very long time. Or his first ever match in the WWE. That's what it felt like. I just cannot get over the fact that Shane McMahon is known as the best professional wrestler in the world, which is not true. It is not true. Yes, Shane can jump off 20-foot objects and somewhat cost his career, because Shane McMahon's a maniac. But come on, he's not the best professional wrestler in the world. Anyway, I'm rambling on. So for this Survivor Series elimination match, I have gone for Team Raw. I feel like Strowman's going to be the sole survivor, but there could be something going on where Corbin, Ziggler, McIntyre get involved and try to pull Strowman out of the match, and obviously Strowman won't get his wishes, like his rematch with Lesnar. He won't get a match with Corbin, but obviously WWE always lie to us and we get the matches anyway. So yeah, I feel like Team Raw is going to win this one. Everything else that I predicted is going to be SmackDown. SmackDown is probably their year to win Survivor Series. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I've got to say. I'm gonna ramble on for a lot more. We're half an hour through this video. So yeah, that is pretty much it for my predictions for both NXT WarGames and Survivor Series 2018. Again, all my predictions for both of the pay-per-views will be put down in the description, as well as my links to the social media, my Instagram and Twitter, and the drinking rules for the events. Feel free to put your predictions for both shows in the comment section down below. I'm Kid563. I hope you guys enjoy this weekend for some wrestling. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time for another predictions video very, very soon. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.